Gonna do a really quick show here for everybody. Welcome to another end of day show with the Vamp. And I've got to say, I'm just sitting here and at my computer, kind of going through this candle right here that just closed out on the 3-day. So we got this 3-day candle that just closed out. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at this one. 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 And I'm going, Man, this is a tough one right here. I mean, this is a toughie. I mean, so... Guys, I mean, I admit it, I'm in a tough trading spot right here. I really, really am. I mean, a super tough trading spot. This is a really hard trading area for me, and because we are on the cusp of, I mean, we are right there, like poking out, saying, you know, this could break out. This is the make or break moment right here. Golly, I mean, just brutal. I really wish I had something better. Oh, we got the Chon, we got the Chon, we got the Chon. Oh, Chon's on. Okay, Chon will call in as soon as he's here. I mean, this is just so tough for me. I mean, it's this candle that we played off right here. Look, so you see you got the same candle right here. Here it is. Here's the exact same candle right here. That's right here. And you see it just kind of put, and died. You know what I'm saying? And this first candle that let out, this red candle to me, is often a sign of, you know, this is often a sign of, it's bullish. It's a neutral candle, what it is to me. This is kind of a neutral candle, and one day I'm gonna go figure out this damn candle right here. This is the beat the Vamp over the head with candle, because I always get beat over the head with this stupid candle. And yeah, this is my toughie. Now let's pull this down to the daily, and here's the first thing I see on the daily. So on the daily, so you didn't get 3 white crows, and this is kind of one of the things I was looking for. I was looking for a possibility for 3 white crows to pop up here, and that would have given me a pretty good retrace with a run up. This would have been a bullish signal to me. This would have been a very bullish signal. If this could have closed out up here a little bit higher, this would have definitely been an easy trade for me right here, because I would have said, oh, this is no problem. Now this is one frustrating part about crypto. So that was Phoenix right there. All right, here's Binance. This is how Binance printed this candle. So Binance gave me a pretty nice spinning top here, you know, spinning top-ish. Now, I like this spinning top-ish candle because it kind of confirms my, see this run-up you had here? This is a gorgeous candle, right? Another really good, strong candle, and it came up to this spinning top right here. And, you know, good candle, strong candle, came up and created this almost spinning top-like candle. Then fell out, tried again, fell out. Now let's go over a couple other things that are bullish signs to me. So number one, here's your Tekken line right here. Your Tekken line, we are way above our Tekken line here, right? We're way above the Tekken line. And in the previous times, when we broke the Tekken, like we broke it strong, you know what I'm saying? Like we broke the Tekken. See, look here, we broke the Tekken strong. So this was a good break of the Tekken right here. Now over here, you know, we broke it, and kind of only kidding, and then broke it again. And the second time we did break it, it was off to the races. So being above this Tekken line right here is bullish. This is bullish on the daily right here for me. Okay, this is bullish. Now the cloud expanding out. There's the weak point of the cloud right there, where it's going to try to attack right here. But you know, this is a toughie right here. This is a really challenging trading area, you know, because I have mixed signals, right? I mean, I see this pattern playing out, and I still think we're in this pattern right here. I don't think we're in this pattern right here. You know, I think we were in this pattern, and this right here was the intended breakout, right, which was tried here. And I think that this was the intended breakout that should have happened right here. This is where we should have broke through. There it is right here. So you come through, and then this thing just, look, you see this 7 just following along, and this thing just mooned up and just rocketed right through the Tekken line to 30, and then just kept on going. Here we're just not getting that. And, you know, one of the things, let's go over, let's bring up our volume candle real quick. And there's our volume, and look at our volume. I mean, our volume has just died. It's just died. Look at this, is pretty good volume though. I mean, this is pretty respectable. I don't like using Binance for my volume, but this is pretty good. Did anybody see that article on the volume, the wash trading that's going on, and all the exchanges? It's a pretty good article. You should, if you get a chance, come over to my Twitter. Go to my Twitter page. You can come down here and where's it at? Right here. Really good article on just the fake volume. So you can see here's the fake volume across the top 100 exchanges. They had $6 billion in trading volume that was faked. These guys did a great job. And you basically can read through this article, and you guys can see what, just a lot of the shady stuff that's going on, the wash trading. And what they did is they actually compared, you know, real trading to just wash trading done by the exchanges themselves. And I mean, they call some people out here, you know what I mean? They call them out pretty good. And then there was one more. Where is that one? There's one more we posted up in our members area that just kind of went over the what do you call it? Went over the trade washing and the volumes, and it kind of called everybody out in the volumes. Where's it at? Let me go find this. These are our members area. Let's go find this. There it is. So here is our blockchain. Here you go. So here's the blockchain Transparency Institute, BTI. They put out this as a brand new report put out, and it kind of goes by the volume that they're claiming, and then the actual volume that's being traded, at least what they can see. And you look at this hit BTC. This is an exchange. This is what they claimed. This was their true volume right there. This is their true volume. They claimed a lot, and then they had just a very little volume. And there's some other exchanges, you know, Upbit, like there's Upbit. You know, there's a lot. Look at this one, CoinX. I mean, that's just insane, these guys. This is just same thing. Buybox. There's a lot of these that are just kind of really shady with what's going on here. Look at this one. Woo! ZB. Right? Look at that. So you can kind of if you get a chance, you can come on over here. You guys can check that out. You know, it's a pretty good article. These are some pretty interesting articles. Also, we saw that Google has now sunk the searches for the searches for Bitcoin has sunk to a 3-year low. Right, you got a 3-year low right here for Bitcoin, and you can see this final little downtick. So good article, you know, another good article. Just kind of explains where we're at, what's going on. The funny thing is, I bet you know, if you see the Google for Rect and ETF, those are probably two of the most popular ones, which is pretty funny right now. All right, so let's dig back into this chart right here. Sorry, got a little sidetracked. Let's see what happens. See if we printed up a new 2-day candle. Looks like we did. So very bullish candle. This is a bullish candle right here. It doesn't look like this is a new 2-day. It looks like that's still a continuation. There's our daily. Listen, just not a good trading area for me. That's all I got to say. This is just not a healthy trading area for me. I'm going to pull this down to the 12-hour. Just look at the sideways action here on this 12-hour. Now, if I were to look at this as me, Vamp the Trader, I would see this candle and then this candle, and I would sense weakness, right? I would sense weakness in the market with these two candles that got posted back to back. I would sense weakness right here in the market, and I would say, okay, these two stubby candles right here would be signaling that there's possible weakness in the market, and you've kind of got a little bit of a stall out right there. And that's how I would look at those two candles. But, you know, what's kind of happening here is we're just kind of ranging again. So we're ranging in this area. And when I mean ranging, I'm talking, you know, we are still ranging from our high and our low. We're just kind of putting along in this big channel right here. We haven't really broken out. We haven't broken down. This is just a lot of sideways trading right here. I mean, if you look at it, the top of this trading range is would be right here, the top of this red candle, I would call it, which would be 66.88, right? So your trading range is 66.88 on down to, let's just call it right down into this range right here to 6,200, right? And pretty much all the trading has just bounced back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in here. And this still has not broken out. Now it has peaked over and it's trying to make a run. And if you come over to my bubble charts, right, let's go over and take a look at the bubble chart real quick. All right, so here's my bubble charts. You can see that my bubble charts have clearly broken bullish, right? So here's my white long trade line. Now I did call for a long in the group as a hedge. So in our group, I called for a long trade just to hedge ourselves so against the shorts that we're in. So I still have a top here, right? You can see this dump area. You see these pink circles, this dump area right here? Now these pink circles is a dump area. What this does is this correlates as a dump for me, or a pretty good reversal, or a pretty good bang back. And you know, if you do get up into this area and you hit these are some strong rejection areas, and the price often gets rejected in these areas. It often gets rejected right here, and it gets a good kickback. So you've got to watch out. And then here you go. Here's the price when it came up. Almost the same area right here. Right? You can see this is the same area right here. This came up and then got rejected right off of these areas, and then kind of the same thing. We're in the same area, and there's a lot of resistance right here, right? But this is good for a long scalp, and that's what I did. I called out a long scalp here as possible, but this is just a really bad trading area for me. Now look at this. You've got a bullish on your 12-hour. Look at that. You got a bullish cross, right? Great reason for a long scalp right here. Great reason for a long scalp. This is a very bullish signal right here. So you've got a very bullish signal on this cross right here on the 12-hour. Okay? So this should be good for a long scalp. This should be a good call for a long scalp here that we did call out. Now, how high up this can get, I'm still a little worried. I'm still a little concerned on how high this can get. And if you go back to my original chart, let's pull back up the original chart. Kind of here's kind of the original areas that I have, right? I've got this. Come on, get off there. You know, I've got this resistance area, you know, right up here. And if you come back over and you go back over to this chart right here, here's our chart. We're going to bring what we have back up here, right? This still coincides with our original call. Our original call is just kind of move up the side of this wedge. It's just going to keep moving up the side of this wedge right here until it eventually just loses steam. And that's kind of what we've been looking at. And this is exactly what happened over in this last area. And there it is. There it is. So you see it just kind of moved up the side of this wedge right here, and then it eventually died. Okay, now this is more bullish over here. This is definitely more bullish over on this side than it was over here, right? This is more bearish. This area over here is more bullish right now. I look at this area as more bullish than the last area. Okay, so there is a possibility, you know, we can break out of here. It's possible. Even with all the previous bear signs with this bearish cross on the 12-hour, this thing can still break on out of here. You know, let's put back over to this chart right here. Right, I want to bring this back. Let's just clear this off. And let's go down and take a look at our indicators. Let's pull this back to the 12-hour. All right, so there's our 12-hour chart. All right, so bullish cross, had a bearish cross here. Let's go back a little farther. We're going to go back to that area. See, look, you never had a bullish cross up here. There was no bullish crosses that happened up here. These were all pretty much bear crosses. And you had to get down into this range before you got this kind of bullish cross. And there's that bullish cross right there. The bullish cross lifted the price. It gave it a good momentum push. And you got some ranging out of this. You know what I'm saying? This did range higher. And then it just finally fell out. But this is still a bullish sign for a bullish continuation here. Where right now, I mean, we're doing the same thing that we did right here. Right? This is bullish. And, you know, let's see what we got. We had the cross yesterday between the 10 and the 20. That the only difference right now, the frustrating part of all this is these bear crosses that are stacked up on top of this, right? I mean, you've got these damn bear crosses stacked up here above it. Okay, there's a bear cross right there. It's just trying to get there. It's trying to get there on the daily. This will cross bearish, but if this breaks through, this will then become a bullish cross. Right? Look, you had a bear cross, and it still marched straight up into it on the daily. And this is an extremely bearish cross. But you had the 1020 down here. We called this out yesterday. If you look on our chart, right? There it is right there. This is a bullish cross. This 1020 is a bullish cross. The 30 and the 50 is bearish. So you got a bullish and a bearish cross going at the same time right here working. Now the bearish cross happened first, the bullish cross happened second, so you did get this push, this follow through push, this after the second, but you never had anything bearish from this cross right here, this 50-30. All I'm looking at right now is just the resistance above, right? And if you peel back the chart, and you look at your resistances, I'm still playing this damn head and shoulders, right? And these are our areas for the head and shoulders right here, right? These are our areas for the head and shoulders. I'm looking for this to try to hold these areas, right? There's your first resistance, 67.80, right? Look at this, came up, just tacked the 67.80, perfect. You see that? Look at that. Just got stopped by the 67.80, tacked the 67.80. I mean, this is where your first resistance is, your historical resistance line. Your second resistance line for the head and shoulders is 68.37, right? And this is coming up, and this is the next range right here. So this is your next resistance for your head and shoulders. Okay, so your next resistance for your head and shoulders is this 68.37. So in my long call, my long call was for 68.37, for the 68.37 to 68.49. So that was my long call to try to see if it's possible to get up here. And I mean, it totally is. Now, your resistance once you get up here is also going to be your 30. So your 30 is moving down. So now your 30 average is moving down. Your top side up here, if this thing does keep going, you've got all your resistance that's stacked up here at 6,900. Now, you get over and you break this 6,900 range, you really have to sit here and start talking about that you've invalidated this head and shoulders. The head and shoulders just totally got wiped out. Now, let me pull this off there. Oh, wait, it's not what I want. pull the volume off. There we go. So you're about to invalidate this head and shoulders here if you break out. If this just keeps breaking out and runs, you can just wipe out the head and shoulders, and you're going to have to go back into a ranging pattern, right? You're going to have to go back into a ranging pattern, especially if it gets up here. Like, if it breaks out over this, it's going to be very bullish, right? If you get above this and you can flip this 12-hour bear cross, this one-day bear cross into a bull cross right here, if you can flip this, then this will turn very bullish here, right? Like I said, you've got a lot of, this is just your ranging back and forth, and this chart really shows it the best. I mean, look at the consolidation area. Look at all of the resistance in this right here. Look at all the resistance in this area. And this, you know, you should just, all you got to do is just take a block, just grab your charts, take a block, grab a rectangular block, just go like that, and that is your, there you go, right? And this is all this area in here, this banging around is pretty heavy. And yep, this looks pretty good because there's the bottom. See where it bangs on the bottom a bunch right there. There's a couple closes on the bottom. You might even pull this down. It's okay where it's at. So, this is just a really crappy trading area. I am long scalping here. I do have a hedge trade open. So by hedge trade, that means I have both a long and a short open right now. Right? I have a long and a short open. And I have a long open because we have broken out of the bubble chart area. You know, there it is. There's the bubble chart area. Ooh, let me bring this back up. You know, the bubble chart said go long. I'm going long. That's what I'm doing. Now I'm scalping. I'm scalping long because I'm watching this to get up here to 58. If this gets up here to 58 on the RSI, I'm looking for this next next rejection point on this this area right here. So I'm looking for this to be rejected up here in the 58 range. Now this 58 range would correspond with my two head and shoulders resistances also. So this would correspond with both of the head and shoulders. Now the only issue is if you go back in history right here, or if you go back in history and you look where we're at right now, okay, you look at where this is at and where the price action is, right? That it's hard to find a really big dump here that would correspond with a head and shoulders historically. Right? It's hard for me to go back and find something right here in this range that will correspond with a head and shoulders. The only thing that this, I mean, this would have to get way up here to at least 6,900, I feel. You'd have to get up here to 6,900. You get the you get your head and shoulders pattern. You could possibly keep that head and shoulders pattern with that high high shoulder over here, and that would put you up into an area where you would get a dump, and it's up here. That's way up here. You know, I mean, look at these dumps. These dumps are way up here. They're pretty damn high. There's nothing that ranges in this area right now that's a large dump for me. There's just not. You know, there's one close right there. I mean, 59. You know, you're at where you at right now? You're parked at 57. So there's a pretty good dump at 59 right there. A long time ago, there's another really good one at 67. But man, this is starting to turn. This is looking bullish here. For me, I mean, it really is. This is looking bullish, whether it's a bullish scalp or just a long scalping trade. This is, you know, I mean, I'm getting mixed signals. I wish I could help you out a lot more right here, but this is just a really bad trading range. Yeah, man, 6 hour. See what we got in the 6 hour. No help on any crosses. Resistance is 69.42. A lot of resistance up there in the 69.50 area. Nothing. There's nothing up here. Nothing to hold this down in the 6 hour. Nothing to hold this down in the 4 hour. Just room to run here if it wants to. We know where our support is. All our support's down to 64 and change, 64.50. So if this thing does fall out, 64.50 is your low. If this thing does run, 6,900 is your high. I mean, this thing can get all the way up here, you know, 69. That's pretty high right there. So that's 7K. And 12 hour, same thing, 69.50. Yeah, there's just nothing. There's nothing holding this up nor down. Pull on our day. 6,800 on your daily. 2 day, 68.50. You're going to run into that quicker. There you go. 3 day, 68.50. Just a, you know, crap, really tough trading area right here, everybody. I wish I had something. I wish I had a lot easier trade for everybody here. I just don't. I don't have any. There's no easy trade setups. The only good trade setup I see is this 12-hour scalp on a long. That's it. That's the only trade scenario I see, just because you got limited resistance above here and your resistance kicks in on the daily right there. You know, you got a little bit of a run up to 68 and change. That's it. All right. There's a bullish cross, the 50 and the 100. On the daily, there's a bullish cross on the 50 and the 100. I don't see that. Yes, head and shoulders do work on a downtrend. Yep, I got my Stoke chart right here. Let's bring up our Stoke chart. Here it is. So here's our Stoke chart right here. All right, so here's our Stoke chart. Now, I like to count this out as bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, bear. Now, when this came up, this is a bearish trend that goes up. And this is, you can see by these multiple peaks, how these are all broken down right here, right? See how this happens? Bang, 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 bang. These are all bearish trends right here when you're looking at your Stoke. And then you get more of a vertical launch. You get more of a vertical launch pad on these bullish runs, right? So you can see where you get the vertical launch pad on the bullish runs, but on the bearish runs, you get this choppiness. There's a lot of choppiness in your action on your Stoke. And let's go over here and see if we can correlate this with anything. All right. Let's bring this down. All right, what do I see here? I see we're at the top of the range right here for the Stoke, right? Which definitely corresponds with the last time we were here, right? So look at here. This is the last time we were right here in this box. And there's my box right there where I think we're at. I think we're in this damn box, right? This is where I think we are. But look at our Stoke. You know, our Stoke is right here on the cusp of trying to roll over on this. Like, look at even your RSI. Your RSI is trying to roll over on this. Look at this curved pattern here, right? It's hard to go back and find, where do you find a curved pattern like that? I mean, that thing literally is like trying to make a small baseball top. I can't even find something like that. There's just nothing historically. All right. You know, and my issue here is I feel that I mean, honestly, everything in my chart for the last week I've been saying is this area right here. Every single thing in my charts has said this is the area we're in. This wedge, this rising wedge right here, this bear flag. This is a bear flag. This is not a bull flag. This is a bear flag that this is creating, right? And this is looks like the same damn thing, but it's just not. There's subtle changes to this that make this a little more bullish right now. And this is what's got me thrown off. I'm definitely thrown off on this particular chart right here. Because look at this. This thing is look at this weird. Look at this. It just RSI doesn't do this. It doesn't make a half moon, right? RSI is up and down and rangy, right? Look at that. See, this is as close as you can get. You see that little kind of made that little little teeny tiny like little rollover thing right there. Oh, hold on a second. All right, give me 1 second, everybody. And hey, what's going on, buddy? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna bring you in. Let me get you. Well, I got Chon on the line. Hold on, everybody. Let's see if I can bring this God of War in. He survived last night. All right. Go ahead. Check. Mic check. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Thank
How's
God you're here. So Chon, I was just talking about look at the area on the chart I'm showing right here. You see how it's like arcing. It's arcing. It's rolling. And if you look here, see where we're at right here. And then if you look in this, where we're in we were in this bull flag, right? Bear flag, right? See the bear flag? Now it dropped out, bounced back, came right up to the same area, and then rolled over and died. But look at how this thing is rolling over. Like I can't even go back and see a dome-like structure back here. You know what I'm saying?
You're on the 12-hour chart?
Yeah, the 12-hour chart. I mean, it's rolling over. It's actually making a rolling RSI pattern. Look at your 12-hour RSI. And look at how it's like actually curved. It's a radius. Oh, yours looks different than mine.
What do you want? Are you on Binance?
I'm on Binance. Don't judge me.
Which one's Binance? Tether's one.
All right. So I'm going to let Chon take this over because, guys, I just don't have any help. I still think this is this freaking bull flag, right? Bear flag. So what I was saying, Chon, is if you go ahead and you take a look at your a couple of your charts, that on the 1-day Ichi Cloud chart, you've broken out of the 1-day Tekken line. You've broken over it, which is bullish, and that shows you the same pattern you had in the July breakout. Right, when you broke out in July, you broke over the day Tekken. You did the same thing. You broke over the Tekken daily back in April, and then we've done it again. We've broken out over bullish over the Tekken line on the daily. We also have a 12-hour bull cross with the 7 and the 50 below us. But I still look at this bearish. This all looks bearish to me. This climb up here with the Stoke looks bearish. My RSI climb looks bearish, right? Look at how far we've gone on the RSI, and the price action has barely moved. Right? I mean, look at we're super high up here we're at 57 RSI, and we're below the peak of which we are with the 69. I mean, this is. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at that. Look at how it's curving. I'm going to let you guys... Chon, why don't you take it away, buddy? Maybe you can help people out more than I can.
Well, yeah, this is a very frustrating time right now because, as you mentioned, like, yes, we are slowly uptrending. We are at 6750-ish area here, and that is an accomplishment considering a lot of our relatively sideways price action for such a long time, wicking out bearish, wicking out bullish, but more or less keeping a consistent move here. And then kind of backtracking on what we were talking about last night and why I was kind of encouraged about what we could see with today's price action is that we were able to close on our daily chart above our EMA 26. And, the last time we broke through it, that was our big wick out candle there. And we were actually able to finally break above and close above. And because of that, we actually yesterday were able to keep that bullish continuation. And when we back tested, we actually found support there as well. So it actually makes me a little more encouraged that our EMA 26 is actually decent support now. And if we retest it again, I'm hoping it holds. We do see our other cluster here of EMAs rising slowly higher, and they can act as support as well. But our big resistance line coming up is our EMA 55, which is exactly where we wicked out when we went bullish here. Now then it was at 68.77. It's come down a little bit. It's currently at 68.42, and we're not very far away from that. What are we at? We're at 67.50 and 68. So $80 or so puts us in this retest once again of our EMA 55 that, at least on the daily chart, acted as very strong resistance. Pull up my Bollinger Bands here. And we see, hey, look at that. Where are we finding resistance? Well, we're finding resistance right at our upper Bollinger Band. Our Bollingers are tightening, and even if so there's kind of two things I'm watching here. We broke bullish here, and this was a really nice green candle, and broke bullish and then closed outside of the
Okay,
Bollinger.
now hold that thought right there, okay?
Sure.
Hold that exact thought, okay? So we just talked about that. And I want you to go do a side-by-side chart. Can you pull up a side-by-side chart real quick?
With pleasure.
Where is this? Hold on a second. All right, pull up the 3-day on that chart, will you? The second chart. All right, now look at the candle. And look at the candle that we snapped back on over there.
Which candle I'm looking at?
So you're looking at the 3-day candle we just closed.
Okay.
And then look at the that we just closed. Then look at the back there at the top of your Bollinger Band that broke out.
Mm-hmm.
You see that candle?
Okay. So we had the wick candle, we had the retest above, but a lower high. And now the following day, we had this tweezer top and super bearish continuation.
Yeah, you see that the candles kind of line up right there now. But if you look at the 3-day chart, you look back left on your 3-day chart, you kind of get the same candle pattern that played out there also. I remember when that one got blown out with that wick back through. No, back farther, back left. Go back. No. You're got to zoom in. One about 8 candles back there. You got the big green one on the left. The big green one. Yeah. Like I remember when that when that got blown out. That I was so pissed when that doji candle got blown out. I was pissed. I was pissed. I'm like, how do you blow out a perfectly doji? Oh, that's right. You just print a bunch of tether. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Continue. Sorry, buddy.
Well, that's interesting observation there, because look at our 3-day, and our 3-day hasn't, same deal. We wicked out when we hit our middle BB, which is at 68.62. So our middle BB is at 68.62. Our EMA 55 is at 68.50, which is also, so there's like, there's a lot of resistance here at 68 and change. So this can set up. I mean, we just started this new day. This is the daily one over here. We just started this new day. We're a little higher now, but let's see if we can do something that happened here on this 3-day, which was I would definitely call this a tweezer, even though the second candle was a little bit lower. And right now we have currently the setup potentially for a pattern like that. Now, what happened with this 3-day here? It actually engulfed the previous 1, 2, and got pretty close to the third one there. So in theory, if today's candle is a big setback and we engulf this one and half of this one, then look at that. That would put our middle Bollinger Band as major support, about 64.20 or so. So this is where we're range bound here between our upper and our middle BB on our daily. And now we see our middle BB on our 3-day. Again, these are ways you can match up different charts, different time frames, and show the same area of confluence. That kind of increases, how confident you can be in some of your trading decisions. The fact that we basically touched our lower one here and have scooted all the way to this way here makes me think that we're going to at least try and touch it, or maybe that's it. Maybe we just got close but no cigar on this one here. I want to bring up the 4-hour because this is actually something I talked about in my little quick video earlier today on Twitter, that was showing, this continuing falling MA 200 here on the 4-hour. There we go. I was on the different chart there. That's right. and how it continues to fall and get closer and closer to the price of Bitcoin. And we see basically here that ever since it broke bearish, it's basically held the price down. And once again, we're getting closer, but doesn't necessarily mean we actually have to even touch it, because you see we never even got as high to even touch it there, because our Bollingers got super tight there, and that actually induced this bearish move. So all of our resistance still remains a little bit under 7K to about that area.
That's hilarious.
You
Yeah,
brought it.
I called a long trade in the chat to that area right there.
Oh
Long
yeah.
scalp, long scalp, long scalping trade. That's
Well, we're
funny.
watching the volume here, and as I saw,
Sucks.
yeah, I saw
Sucks.
your tweets earlier about how a lot of that volume we've been watching all these changes is that wash trading volume that is just it's kind of pathetic, but it kind of tells the story here that the retail, the big retail, is kind of dormant. I'm not going to say dead. I'm going to say dormant right now. And a lot of just the action that we constantly see is computer bot driven, and we've seen several examples of that basically play out numerous times. I want to bring up. It was actually some of my targets I was talking about yesterday, basically showing that this wave here, if this was some sort of a wave one, and we did have a wave two pullback because we did put a higher low here, what would be some of my initial price targets there? And what I was looking for was at least a 1-to-1 ratio here, so that would put us right around 69.22. Once again, we're in this confluence area here. If we actually were able to break bullish and get to the 1, 2, 3, 6, a little over 7K, then I actually might think this might actually be a 5-wave up cycle potentially, and then we can actually see how that was going to play out. I expect major resistance if we are able to get to our red MA200 here, and that again points to this area here of sub 7K with a lot of resistance there. And if the volume isn't going to come in now, again, I'm always suspect with the volume. We've seen circumstances when the volume really seems to decrease only to just shoot up out of nowhere. Decreasing volume, and then boom, just giant green candle out of nowhere. So we're not incredibly. I'm not incredibly surprised that low volume is just waiting in the wings for something major to happen here. What is encouraging though is to see that we were kind of putting in this triangle here. We've been able to break above its. Currently, we were actually weren't able to close on our daily last 4-hour candle, so we wanted to do that last candle. We haven't done it this candle. And this is kind of interesting candle here because we're only 45 minutes into this. We have over 3 hours left for this to play out. But if we are able to close above our triangle resistance, now potentially acting as support, that would be encouraging for that continued move higher. If this is a flag here and we just broke bullish from it, then the 1-to-1 of that flagpole also puts another test here right at our upper resistance line. Once again, around 7K, corresponding with our MA200. So clearly that's what we're looking at there as our best case for our bullish push there. Now I want to look a little bit of our RSI here. And we've been channeling for days here, and we're actually we're encouraged to be over 50. We're encouraged to be holding our center channel support line there as support. And even this, we're doing some sort of a pennant, almost seems like, in just the 4-hour RSI. And absolutely, you create patterns in your RSI there. But yeah, we're putting in a pennant here. And this is kind of a, A, B, C, D, E. We got to break out of this little line here. If we get rejected here, this is going to be our kind of our failure wave here. So again, it's trending up because it's trending up, and therefore it has to be bullish. But it's just because our stochastic is already topped off on our 4-hour, and then let's see where it is on our daily, because that was the one where we were pancaked for so long, and now once again we're back up here. And this struggle to get here was what? It was like what, $500?
Die.
So we're just kind of once again up here. Now we can set up here for 4 or 5 days. We've done it before, so we can remain bullish and still be in this kind of extended stochastic RSI for time. We have things to show that. In our daily, we're over 50. Okay, we like that. We talk about how 50 is important right here. And we actually, remember, we talked about these
53.
53 as the major next Yeah, resistance area. So yeah, we could get a couple more points here. Still a couple more points. Um, but we're tiring. And also, again, as we have this was our bearishness all through August. We have two daily. So we finally put in our little green pinky, our first green mountain there. We're on our second one here. But I see this as our resistance. Remember, and also we can still go green even if we have a little bit of a price pullback here. So I am still under the impression, based on this histogram and based on where we're trending now, is that we could probably put in a little green mountain, finding resistance once again in this area here, and rolling over once again, and that all corresponds with just a tap of around 7K trickle up. And I think was it UVamp who was it about something of how that the exchanges they just can't do these quick pops anymore in the price action, so they got to have to slowly kind of roll it up just so they're not like doing these crazy
Yeah,
volatility moves.
exactly. What I see is I see that now the exchanges have definitely gotten a lot smarter and they're spoon feeding the market.
Mm-hmm.
They've learned that they trying to pop it and get it to explode organically. Just people aren't buying it anymore. So what I see is
Mm.
I wish we need to go find those wallets and see how much Bitcoin is left in them, or Tether actually, or Bitcoin. And I feel that they're just buying up. They're going on their own exchanges and they're just spoon feeding the market now. What I would be careful of is there's going to be a limit, and they're going to spoon
Yeah.
feed it so far, and then they understand they're going to have to take profit, otherwise they're going to be the ones who eat it. And the exchanges, nobody likes losing money for sure, but nobody likes losing $1 million in one day. And nobody
Right.
likes to be the trader who got the $1 million lost in the day on their watch, right? Let that be the other guy.
Yeah.
That
And
be-
frankly, if you're an exchange, wouldn't you want to keep a guy and just keep gradually just sucking fees off him than just liquidating in one fell swoop? I
yeah.
think that's exactly what they're talking about, is kind of doing that. I wanted to bring up quickly here our on balance volume, OBV. This is our daily, and this is kind of what we watch in terms of we wanting to see bullish divergence or bearish divergence, and kind of is there strength in holding Bitcoin right now? Is the market showing any strength in that? And I like this channel here. I think the OBV has kind of respected parts of it, and you see we were on to the penny there, or the dime, or whatever you call this indicator. We held our channel support, and right now we're ranging once again, hitting our upper channel resistance here. And I would look at this as notable if we're actually able to break through, because that just shows more of the strength in the move. If this were fading while the price kept on rising, I would think that that would be super bearish divergence. But right now, I'm watching to see if we can get some sort of a, let me do this. Let me compare the two side by side so we can see better here, because I want to look for some sort of a bearish divergence or a bullish divergence if the OBV kind of falls off too much or gains too much. So we're watching the price and we're watching the OBV here, and let me just have my Bollingers as well. And so what we're looking at here is we basically put in our high here on August 17th, and that
That was
was
the wick.
around,
That was
that
was
was
that
the
the wick?
wick.
Was that the
No, that
wick?
was before that. That was
Before the
before
wick.
that.
Oh god,
Yeah.
okay.
So the wick actually ended up putting
A,
a
a
lower.
low.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It sold off. Yeah, see, so the market sold off into
Mm.
that wick here, and we actually weren't able to get higher. Yeah, so interesting. There wasn't a big uptick. It was a down tick, but now we're right back to where we were on our peak on the 17th, which was 66, but we're higher. So the price is higher. The OBV is a little bit lower. So I kind of see that as mildly bearish, but it's subtle. It's very subtle here. So I'm not seeing a major divergence trend from this. You tend to see this more obvious in altcoins, where it shows that there's clear dumping of big wallets. But this really isn't telling me much here. So, I guess to kind of summarize what I'm looking at here is, because we are able to hold, I'm on the daily here, because we are able to hold our six after yesterday's close above and then today's close above. I'm still under the assumption of we can target our previous EMA 55 resistance line and see what kind of volume we can bring us if we get up there. But as Vamp said, we have precedent for system like this, I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, and then we're into our fourth green day here. We've seen this roll over, and we've seen what that can look like. And if we do roll over, we have support catches that can catch us around 64 to 64.50. And that does not necessarily take this kind of play, the bullishness out of play. I think what would take the bullishness out of play and kind of definitely put the head and shoulders scenario much more so back into play is if we at least double top at 6,900. Anything past that, then that H&S kind of starts to get a little bit worrisome here. On the 4 hour, we put in a bunch of wicks here. We keep wicking. So clearly the market is not ready to break 67.50. For a closing candle. We're right there now. Even if we go above here, we still have a good 3 hours left for this candle to really fulfill. So this is finding a very distinctive resistance line. But then, in doing so, we are putting in somewhat of a, oh, that's right. But we're putting in somewhat of a ascending triangle here, where we're hitting a specific top and we're kind of putting in a higher low here. And this is a bullish pattern where we actually pound the top there until we can break through, and our apex maybe has 2 or 3 candles left in it. So maybe by tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to see if we can actually break bullish through this. And just so we haven't really touched on it yet, I just want to quickly pull up our weekly candle. We got 1 day to go in this here. And, it's interesting. It looks very much like this candle cluster here, where we had a nice green bottom hammer, although it wasn't entirely bottomish, but good enough. And the next one was a nice green candle. This one's almost a little more bullish. And then the previous week, we actually had a bearish engulfing for just a week, but a lot of that was bought up and brought in some bullish continuation. So that cycle can continue with closing this week out relatively strong. And then next week, we kind of have to reset after 2 full weeks of nice bullishness here. But 1 day to go, this could clearly turn into some sort of a spinning top in decision. Right now, it's bullish. The body is nice. The longer wick on the bottom is nice. Upper wick is getting a little worrisome now. But we got a day to kind of make it look a little better. And if we could close around 7 tomorrow, 7K or 6,900 area, then that would definitely do that. That's what I'm seeing.
All right, perfect. So let's bring up, somebody just brought up the shorts. Let's take a look at the shorts here. Shorts have totally tanked. I mean, we have just dropped way down on our shorts. The RSI is all the way down into a safe area. You've got your the shorts themselves are plunging rapidly. So this is good. This is really good. We're up in a now. The funny thing is, there has just been no short squeeze, right? There's no short squeeze that was associated with this because the price hasn't moved, right? The price just totally has not moved.
So are they taking losses? Is that what's happening here?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, the shorts must be taking some losses, anticipating a possible another pop here.
Yeah.
But the issue you see is people are just kind of taking out their losses, and they're not they're just there's no short squeeze happening. And now the idea of a short squeeze in order to propel the price is dissipating rapidly. Right? So you're talking about your short squeeze is going away, and you had this channel right here where you had this really nice channel right here that has finally been broken. Right? There it is. And this was a flag for a while. So this was a flag like this for quite a while. It broke out of the flag, and then it kind of turned itself, it was a pennant, and then it turned itself into a flag, and it just broke out the bottom of the flag there. Now, if you're looking at your shorts and you're thinking or expecting a short squeeze from here, I would not be. I mean, the problem is now that the shorts are just dumping off, everybody's anticipating this little pop. And, you come back over, you take a look at your main charts, and, you've got a little bit of run up. I mean, you've ran up, a couple 100 points. I don't think any of this was associated, though, with liquidating of the shorts. I mean, this doesn't look like a short squeeze at all. You don't see a drastic price spike in any way. You just see people taking their shorts off the table, looking for, and what I do believe is they're just looking for a higher entry point. People are like, okay, that's fine. I'll take a little off the table right now, but I'm just going to look for a higher entry point to get back into my shorts. And I would say this is disconcerting if you were a bull, and like a lot of bulls have been hyping over the last couple days or a week now, since the shorts have been absolutely insane. They've been insane for at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. So it's been 5 days. The shorts have been through the roof. A lot of the bulls, or the very bullish people, have been saying that, hey, this is you're going to see a massive short squeeze and a huge spike in the price, and we didn't get that at all. So let's go over and take a look at Chone's chart. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, just I agree with all that. I would just make one caveat: how significant the shorts have sold off. As long as they kind of remain in this upper ascending, broadening wedge here, I can still see them as being able to turn bullish again in terms of adding to the short contracts. And what I mean by that is yesterday's candle, although super
Didn't do anything. Didn't move.
well, it held the support line on the close, so now we're under it, which means we have all day to get back over it. So we're wicked. Right now we're under it, which is
Oh, I was
that's where
talking
we're
about
at.
the price movement. If you put the price action up next to that chart, hold on a
Oh,
second.
right, yeah, right. The price stayed stable where the
Yeah,
short
I
liquidated.
just put my chart. So here you can see. Oh, sorry, you got it already. Go for it.
You got you got you. Yeah. So there we go. Is there? And that's notable because that's kind of those weird circumstances where the shorts just kind of have a mind of their own there. So you're right, price stays relatively stable, and shorts definitely take a larger move here and almost get themselves back to 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so they're back in an area here. Lower contracts, higher price right now, but they can load back up again. And we talk about what is it that's going to make them load back up. So if we actually, as you said, maybe they're just saying, all right, I'm just going to take my money off the table now and wait till Bitcoin hits 7K, and then I'm going to load up my shorts there. And that's going to be interesting if
Do you
we
know
do
what?
pop up there. What's that?
All right, if you count that back, I think that long candle was all those people that pulled the shorts on that BS wick candle from the
Yeah.
exchanges.
Well, this went super down and totally bearish engulfed this massive Maribozu candle.
But that big
And then,
Maribozu candle, though,
yeah,
correlates with that big wick candle right there, doesn't
yeah.
it?
No. This was
One, two,
it
three,
was this
four,
one. Was
five.
it this one?
Oh, God, was it that one?
Yeah.
One,
So
two,
it was
three.
this hammer.
Yep, big hammer candle, yep.
Yeah, it was, and I remember this because it was like, oh shit, we're breaking bullish here, and then when this wicked out, this actually got bought back up. So the shorts bought into this, and what's interesting now is if you see that that's where they kind of added to that area there, then yeah, they probably took some losses, couple $100 in this
Or
area,
profit,
or right,
because they could
if
have caught
they would,
that. They could have caught that
sure,
wick at the top.
true,
I did. We did in our. I mean, we
yeah.
all caught that wick at the top. We shorted the crap out of that. Made a bunch of money.
So if this candle, this daily candle, which just started, if this does close outside, I feel this line here, then yes, I think that this short squeeze is probably in doubt. But if we actually are able to go higher and re-encompass this area here, then we keep talking about another retest of the ATH and then potentially breaking it. And I think that's still in the cards. So we have one more day to see if we can get back into this and push it higher and actually create this one more again, because we talk about how much fuel, bullish fuel, it could be if we did actually shoot the shorts up and then force them to cover in a way where we get a big push of bullish money into Bitcoin. They're forced to cover, and then by doing so, they actually push an additional amount of money into Bitcoin, similar to April's move. So that's kind of that. Still in play, but we got to see what this daily candle plays out as. And again, it's about volume. It's about, we talk about faith and about like, does the market feel like this is a reasonable price? We've been flirting around with these areas here for this entire month. And, we talked about August, a lot of people on vacation, not a lot of action, not a lot of interaction and stuff like that. So maybe a lot of this is money trading is wash trading by the exchanges just to keep keep it somewhat interesting and keep a lot of things kind of still in play here. Just real quick here, looking at our targets, and this is kind of what we were talking about if we were was it going this one here, and then right there. So look at that. Our 786 is right here at 68.05. Our 1-to-1, 69.61, and then 71 there. So every exchange is slightly different. So you have to kind of factor in that kind of arbitrage. But of course, if you're scaling in or scaling out, you're laddering your entries and your exits there. So if we are able to break a little more bullish and you want to short, you basically want to start scaling into those shorts as we get into these areas here. But it's whatever happens. And Sunday is interesting. Sundays are interesting because a lot of it is wanting to make it a really nice, or at least as good of a nice weekly candle as you could possibly put in. And that sets the trend. A lot of people who are more swing traders and kind of long traders look at those weekly candles to get a sense of kind of what is Bitcoin's next big trend. Very optimistic that that September is going to bring in some very dynamic and volatility. And listen, as a trader, that's kind of what you want. You want volume, you want dollar flow, and you want some volatility because that's where you can get your best entries and exits and scalp some nice profits there. And we're not really seeing a lot of overflow into alts, even though Bitcoin's bullish sideways. Give or take a couple of coins here and there, just not seeing that kind of a continuation.
Your
In
porn
that,
site crashed.
don't tell anybody. Don't tell
Twitter.
anybody. It was the
Twitter.
Verge. I used too much Verge. But
Sir,
a volume profile.
you can't take these coins; they're sticky, sir. Sorry, TMI. Sorry.
What the heck? Crap. Okay, so we got volume 4 billion. So that's interesting. We actually had a little bit more volume. Market cap 112. But this 24 hours, and this is closing soon. I know this closes a little bit after a little over 3 billion. So that's actually almost $1 billion. Almost $1 billion off where we were yesterday. So the very quiet day with a trickle up, and I'm always kind of skeptical of a quiet volume day with a trickle up in price. Market cap at 217 billion, Bitcoin dominance 53.7, and I would say holding, definitely holding. So that's kind of the same thing. Quiet volume last week of August volume, and that's kind of what the price is suggesting here. And that's the thing. It's like every time we break bearish, it's been bought up. Every time we break bullish, it's been sold. So until that trend changes, we might just be kind of trickling until one side just capitulates on the other and everybody just dumps out.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of these EMAs that we haven't really been able to break through yet are kind of worrisome. And then a lot of that just has to do with what happens next. What happens if we actually do break bearish? Boy, it's going to be interesting to find out.
All right, so let's just want to bring up one real quick thing on my chart. So I was looking at a correlation between where the RSI, this rounding of the RSI, and I go back, and there we are in this this same damn area where I think we're gonna fall out. I think we're doing the same bear flag, is that we're posting up here, we're posting up there. Now the RSI is much higher, and let's see how messy this fucking chart is. Crap. Let me pull up a brand new chart. Let's do this. Let's go here. New chart. All right, perfect. Let me pull up a brand new chart. I just want to pull up an let's pull up our RSI. Okay. Boom. Pretty. All right. So one of the things I want to look at is, I'm going to bring this in here. Okay, there we go. So I see this, so this channel, just gonna roughly make this here. Okay, there we go. And dump out my volume, and then there is that one, and there is that. Oop. So this is my channel that I see right here. I just see the same damn thing. And when I look at this, I see this. See that right there? I see this right there. And this is kind of what I'm looking at. And you see how you got this rounded area was, you know, you kind of got there's your rounded area. This is what that's trying to do. Now this could break up just a little bit higher. This is why, you know, I did pull long scalp. My trade I think is a little bit. I'm up 1 whole point on my my long scalp as I look at it right now. I did join. I did add one Fox account, so I'm now trading on one Fox. So let me get rid of this here. So when I look at this right here, I mean, this is kind of what I'm looking at. This is kind of what this is playing out at. Now, the problem is this frickin' thing has got more bullish signs on it. You are limited, you know, and if you go in here and we start to draw, let's just kind of finish our drawings here. Right, there's that. All right. There's that movement right there, and then here is your here's your head and shoulders right there, and then this is kind of, you know, this is what I'm seeing. Oh, come on, stupid thing. There we go. So this is kind of what I'm seeing right here is this pattern playing out right here. And now this is significant because look at the RSI is lower here. The price action is higher here. This would be considered bearish divergence, right? Because you have a higher price with a lower RSI. This is bearish, okay? Now, this can still break up a little bit. You know, this still has the ability to break up. This still has room to break up in this channel. So this channel can keep rising before it breaks down. Now what I would be looking to play here is a breakout of the channel, and that's pretty easy. All you're going to do is you're just going to draw yourself a line right like this, and you know, you're looking for where does this break out at. You know, if it goes here, it's there. If it's the next candle over, it's here, right? And you can kind of just keep playing this game. Where is a breakout of the channel as you move over, and you can see that every time you move just a little bit farther, your height gets a little higher. So you can see if you got to pull this actually to do it the right way. Got it? And then you just can keep adding and moving your little thing just like that, and that's kind of going to give you the top every single time. You want to break this down to see where your possible, you know, where your breakout point is. So that gives you anything. So if this breaks out at these levels over the next couple days, this thing goes bullish. I mean, this totally goes bullish, and that's all you got to do is just plant these puppies in here just like this. Come on, get out there. And you can see that these are your bullish, these are your break bull spots, right? So if this breaks out of this, then you just go up here and you say bull, and then that's it, right? If it breaks out of here, this is an easy bullish trade, breaking the wedge, right? And then the same thing though correlates for the bottom. So this has got to be bear, and this is your trade. So right now, a smart trader, right? A smart trader would sit back and they would literally be looking for this kind of a break here to play, and or this kind of a break here to play. Right? This is the game they're going to play. So here's where their trades are going to be set up. Your trades are going to be set up right here. You're just going to be chilling because anything that stays in this channel is bearish. As long as it stays in this channel, it is bearish. Now, it is a bear short trade. And what I mean by bear, I mean this is where your short trade is set up. So this is a short trade entry. So my short trade entry would be right here, anywhere on this wedge, and this would be my bull trade entry. Right? In this wedge right here. So there you go. This is kind of how you should be trading this area right here. Anything that stays in here is bearish, and you're only asking for pain and suffering right here. As this slides up this channel right here, you're asking for pain and suffering, because you're playing, if you're thinking, oh, this is going to the moon, this is bullish. This is not bullish until it breaks that channel, and then you can just dial that channel a little better. Probably better than I can. There we go. So that's all dialed in. And this would be your trade. And all you do is you just sit here and you do nothing. You should do nothing in this area, right? This is a no trade zone until you break one of these. And look at how this worked over here, right? So here you go. You would have been waiting, right? This is what you would have played this thing the same way. You would have played this game the same way right here. And then here you would have played it the same way right there. So this is how you win the game. This is exactly how you win the game of crypto, right? There it is. And you just following this trend up, and you would have had to follow this. Unfortunately, you would have had to follow this puppy all the way up here, because once this channel was created, once this channel was made, and it would have actually been made from these two candles right there. So these two candles, which these two would have touched, they would have created your channel, right? And that would have been the creation of your channel. There, this one touched, and your channel actually would have been right there. So you would have had to, this would have been your play right there. Okay, so here would have been your, let's do this, clone. Clone. There it is. Okay, and that's how simple that is. That's exactly how you should trade this area, and this shows you your trades that should correspond with each level here. And you guys should be sitting on the sideline, and you guys should be sitting on the sidelines right now, just chilling for this. That's it. Cool. All right, and we're going to turn it over to Chonis. He's got a really pretty thing drawn on his chart just to make me feel extra bad today on a Saturday. Go ahead. Look at these freaking rainbowy colors. They're not even rainbowy. They're like cool colors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just pulled up a quick Andrew's pitchfork here on the Bitcoin 4-hour, and amazing how accurate this thing is. We see, like, to the T, to the wick, we see our areas of support and our channels of support and our channels of resistance, and where we wicked out here, where we found resistance here, where we found support here, broke bullish, and now where we're finding support. So to climb to our next rung higher, again, that's another example of a correlation around the 6850 to 6900 area.
Look who called that. Look who called that. Look at hold on. Look at this. See, there was my call. 6840. I got 6840. Okay, things have changed. This call's old. The 6-hour-old call. Give me a 10-point break. All right. If it does go there, if it crashes right now, 6550, 6500. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, well, no, and that's the thing, because the last time we were able to get up in that area into that channel, right, we wicked out. Now, notice how this channel here, there's not a lot of, this is kind of interesting here, there's not a lot of price history here. We broke bearish right through it. We found it as major resistance, then we broke bullish right through it, came bearish right through it. So this channel shows us there's like a gap here, like a window, where if we are able to get through it, we get through it pretty quick, and then we can get ourselves up to 69. And then if it's interesting to see where we wicked out on this channel line here, and that's kind of interesting, because that could tell us if we actually do break, decently bullish over the next few days, what a longer term bull target could become. And that basically could be another test of this line here, where if it was here, it was at 68.90. Somewhere farther down the road here, we can kind of see where that could be. So this is our Andrew's pitchfork, and this line here of support is definitely in play, major support. If we break it, as long as we find support on our next rung down, And short term, it's only, we're only talking about like 60, $70 there. But the major thing and the major importance is our lower support line here. Now that was set from our bottom wick we had here at 6,000. Okay, it was held here bullishly. We never actually got a chance to touch our wick here. So if we go bearish, this will be a support line I'd like to see hold. And again, there's our $6,500 area, which I believe corresponded to that BB or something. That was our major next support line if we break bearish there. So these lines are definitely still in play, and they're kind of fascinating how accurate they are of showing where the price is finding support and then trying to reach higher, and then we see where we want to reach next. Another example of where our confluence area is shown on several different indicators.
All right, good stuff.
That's what I got.
Let's run over to. I'm just gonna listen. There's just because there's not a lot happening with the alts right now. I know people, the old people, are not gonna like that. All right, so let's take a look at our Ethereum chart. Take a big deep breath, everybody. Not bullish. Okay, absolutely the opposite. Ethereum not looking pretty. I have been making some pretty good calls. Look, here's my arrows that have been kept up here. I've been keeping my arrows. Never quite got up here. Started to fall out again. Just not healthy. So this is not healthy on Ethereum. If I just look at the Ethereum chart, I tell you, I'm still leaning towards, not just Ethereum, but Litecoin is leading the way. You look at your 12-hour chart right there. I do know that we have a weekly bearish cross coming with Ethereum. Let's see if we can find this pub. There it is. So you do have a giant, massive bearish cross on Ethereum. Now, last time we did get that bearish cross on BTC, right? We did get that big bearish cross on ETC. Let me pull this down and run this to the weekly. There it is. There's that bearish cross. Here's the bearish cross on BTC, and it just spanked it right in the pants, knocked it down. So Ethereum is about to get the same big bearish cross in not even that long, like 24 to 36 hours. It's going to happen, so you're going to get this big knockdown. Just weakness on Ethereum. Here is our, so we did have this massive channel. So we have a huge channel right here with Litecoin. It did finally break outside of the channel here, right? So we did break outside of the channel. We are in some sideways movement here. I'm going to change this up because this kind of no longer applies here. This line does, so this is going to be your support line right here. The support line is not really going to change. I am going to adjust a second support line on Litecoin. It is now there. Okay, and we're going to run there. So we are coming into a moment of truth with Litecoin here. Litecoin is running down into this, you're running into an apex right now. Now Litecoin's got support. You did pack a 9 here. You got a big green 9. This was a perfected 9. It was taller than everything else. It did peak out higher. Now you have the 7MA as your support right there. You guys have got to be careful. Let's pull up a longer range chart next to it, okay? There's your resistance. Your resistance is still up here at 60 bucks. All right, you're going to have a couple layers of resistance right here. I'm going to add one more. There's another layer of resistance. Look, there's my resistance right there. Look, it has not been able to get over this resistance. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 can actually, you can count this 7, 8, 9. So you have moved. Look at this resistance level. I'm going to go all the way back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 candles on the 6 hour. Couldn't break over this resistance level right here. So this is substantial. This is a very substantial area for Litecoin right now. Like, this is Litecoin's kryptonite zone right there. You know, this 57, what is that, 57, almost $58. It's getting spanked back down every single time. Now you did come down on the daily. You finally put in a green one, threw in a couple green red fours, got a couple greens. I mean, you're just this sideways back and forth motion right now. Let's see if we can find anything substantial here, anything worth noting on this. And nope. 3 day, nothing, just straight sideways action right there. Now you did get a red 9. It was an imperfected 9. You popped out 2 green candles, but look at these green candles. They haven't moved at all, so that's not healthy. We're going to pull up our weekly here. All right, so we did have our weekly cross. There's our weekly cross right there. We just haven't seen anything from it yet. I mean, it is holding down the price is what it's doing. It is not, now the price, this should have probably bounced had it not been for this bearish cross up here on the weekly. But I mean, that's it. There's just, it doesn't have the oomph to come back up because it's being held down by this massive weekly cross here. Look, and you're even posting up some gorgeous candles here, some gorgeous rejection candles. Like, these things are saying, you know, turn me around, take me to the motherland, give me some love here. This candle's got 36 hours left on this candle for Litecoin right here. And let's just do a quick... we're looking for the weekly close of this candle, right? And this is going to be hugely important, right? If we can post up a really nice a candle that looks like this, or a really bullish candle, or a good reversal candle, then you'll see. Now, if this just stretches down, if all of a sudden Bitcoin decides to fall out of the sky in the next 24 hours, 24 to 36 hours, then, you know, 24 hours almost exactly, then this thing is just gonna, you're gonna take this thing, you're just gonna tank straight down, and you're gonna turn this back into a bearish candle, looking for your lower targets here. Okay, now on your high side, you know, on the weekly chart, on your high side, there's your resistance. You know, $69 is 69, 65 bucks. These are all layers where you can, you know, if this did run, if we did get a pop and things went super, you know, we did get a really good pop right here, we would look for, you know, 60 first, 65, then 69. So let's say, so if this thing does go bullish, so we'd look at 58, then we'd look at 60, then we look at 65, and I don't want to go as high as 69. So these would be our bull targets, right? All right, and then our bear targets on Litecoin would be 51, 44, 51, 44, and then, which I think is our bottom area, is 32. All right, so there we go. All right, what do you got for us over there, Chum?
Yeah, I mean, it's all great. I really agree with all that. Ethereum, bearish, Litecoin leading the way. You know, a lot of people came into Litecoin in this area. And not a lot of people, but there's a lot of price history in this area. So I'm not surprised that we're going to hold for quite a while in this area. This is my weekly chart. The VPVR shows 2 areas of major money flow. One is between $50 and $60. And because of that, that's why we have a lot of support, and we got some history here. Remember, we were here from August of 17 to almost November of 17. So 4 or 5 months there in this $50 range. Sometimes we broke a little bearish, sometimes we broke a little bullish, but more or less we were in this area building, building, building until we broke out, and boy, did we break out. So because we have that history, I'm not surprised to find this confluence and this wanting to hold this area relented to lower areas, because lower areas, and I agree with Vamp, you know, something in the 30s is kind of where I would expect kind of that yucky, super bearish target there. And, you know, I just want to bring up a couple things here, that if we are in some sort of an ABC and we're putting in a 5-wave down, extension of our third really long bearish wave here, puts these targets in play, and our 618 is right around $36-37. And so these lower targets, 52, then 46. Remember, we bottomed at like 49, and then we let a little bounce there. So 41, 36, and then basically 786 is kind of around $30 even. So there's a lot of stuff here from a fib retracement standpoint, talking in the 30s. Now, of course, from now to then, a lot has to happen. So I just want to kind of bring these up as just keep this in the back of your head if we do break bearish in Bitcoin, because right now we are in this, I don't know what you call this. This is not, that's
It's kind of a continuation triangle. Kind
yeah,
of, but it's ascending. It's ascending.
yeah, it's
Is it
ascending. It's definitely.
symmetrical? It's kind of
It's not. It's.
symmetrical.
I
Kind
don't want to
of.
call it. I kind. Well, actually, if I pull this, yeah, it is symmetrical.
Kind of symmetrical.
That's pretty
Symmetrical-ish.
close. Ish.
Symmetrical-ish.
Ish.
Which is
Well, let's just do
50-50.
50-50. Now let's just do a little thing here. If we're going to use the opening as our targets, bull and bear, then we're talking about maybe $6,800 if we break bullish.
$68.
68.
Slow down, Mario. Slow down, buddy. Let's get to 1400 first, okay? Let's get to 1400 first.
Or maybe something around $46, $45, and enough coincides with our 382 of our wave 3 bearish extension. So this is kind of our 50-50 coin flip here. That's kind of the pattern Litecoin is putting in right now. And we're tickling our upper resistance here several candles in a row. This is the 6 hour. So the 4 hours shows something very similar, that we're kind of tickling, want to break, wait for confirmation here. Even if we break out, we can wick out. We tend to wick out on our first break of a major resistance line. So a break and close, the higher the time frame you go, the better. I'll start with the hourly and go up from there. And then we can definitely talking about that bullish scenario. There also is that chance of kind of that rollover. We do see FOMO wicks that can get people trapped here. So a bullish wick up, that's where you can get trapped if you haven't kind of got onto the bandwagon as it is. So we're tight here. Another touch of our lower support would not be, crazy. And again, we're still very tight. Only $1 range here. Whatever Bitcoin does, Litecoin is going to follow.
Boy, that looks like it's an A, B, C, D, E right there too. C, D, E, yeah.
D, E, like this?
Yeah, I think you start at the bottom though. I think you start, you pull it all the way. Meh. I think you start at the. It's a tough one right there. Where would I start this?
Yeah, if I did. Yeah, because A, you're right. A is the first thing. So A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah.
Right. E is the rejection.
Yeah, E is a rejection area right there. So let's see if this gets rejected off that line. That's a great chart. Save that one. Throw that in the members area. That's a good one.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I would also throw your targets on there. Just make sure you pencil your targets on there. There's a couple good ones.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Good chart. All right, so all right, yeah. Let's see if we got any questions. Cannabis stocks. Good question, Rich. Dude, we were just talking about this.
We were talking about that last night.
We were just talking about this. So Consolidation Brands, which is one of the largest liquor companies in the world, got into the cannabis industry just recently, and some of the cannabis stocks are flying through the roof. I am in a cannabis legal state. I just want you guys to make sure that you understand that the issue with cannabis is, and we are very aware of what's going on in different states and different regions of the United States at least, is a lot. If it's right now, it's 50-50 on the states. Half the states that do have marijuana, they are losing their patootie. The state's doing great. But the actual the people who are in the sales or in the growing side of marijuana right now, And California, Oregon, and Washington are all losing their patooties. Nevada's making a killing. So is Denver, because they are on a token system. So a token system means that it's like a lottery. There's very few licenses available. So you have a very, it's almost impossible to get these licenses. And because it's impossible to get these licenses, if you do get one, you're an instant millionaire. Where in California, Oregon, and Washington, they're probably just handing them out like candy to babies on Halloween, right? Everybody gets one. It's like Oprah. Everybody gets a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets a car. And then California wonders why there's too much traffic on the roads, right? And pollution and everything else. So the challenge with the cannabis stocks is one of the things that we see that's going on is you have the major corporations, the major cigarette corporations, and now you have the major the liquor companies getting into the game. And trust me, they're here. We see them. They're in a bunch of the states. They're in California. They're in Oregon. We're talking about Philip Morris. They're being really sneaky. They're working on a cigarette. What they're doing is they're just waiting for the market to grow a little bit, and then it's going to be a big consolidation. They'll just go in, start buying up people. They'll be able to grow for a fraction of the price of what other growers are growing for. One of the things you got to watch out for is you got to watch out right now that marijuana, in order to make money on marijuana, you're going to have to be growing marijuana at $700 or less a pound to make money on it. Yeah, $700 or less a pound. Yeah, we're gonna pull over. We've got to look at this. Look at this. Look at the Chon. He's ready to go. He's got his charts up there. They are. So just be careful. So one of the good things is everybody's announcing, big money is. So this is funny. So this is what crypto wants. This is exactly what crypto wants. And it's regulated. So this is a regulated platform, right, with cannabis, right? It's all the government, and let me explain to you what regulation means. Regulation means I'm the government, I want my piece of the pie. That's it. That's all that regulation is, right? Regulation is give me my tax money and you can do whatever you want as long as you're doing it within the constraints of the law, right? Go ahead. Make alcohol that kills everybody. You know what I'm saying? And, whatever. Who cares? As long as you're paying your taxes, right? So... And it's hard for me to say that because I am a bar owner. But for what this is this is a regulated market, and this is exactly what crypto wants to be. Crypto wants to be this market, and this is funny because looking at these charts. This is what you see now, big money pouring in. This is big money coming to play. And that's what wants to happen with crypto. Big money wants to come into crypto. And with big money is going to come, the boom time. But you got to remember when big money comes in, big money makes the rules and big money writes the playbooks and big money plays by the rules. Okay, so this is what crypto wants. Unfortunately, crypto is not even anywhere near as regulated or as marijuana. But go ahead, take it away, Chon.
Yeah, this is kind of for me because this is actually where I cut my stocks back in 2013, the end of 2013.
He was 18 then, ladies. He was 18.
I had some hard-earned money I wanted to invest, and I put them literally into stocks that had funny names that were surrounded by marijuana companies. And it just so happened that the exact same moment, Washington State and Oregon State legalized and went recreational in January of 14. And a lot of OTC penny stock companies became marijuana companies overnight and had tremendous gains and tremendous charts. And that's where I saw my first parabolic moves. And made my first big money on paper and lost my first big money on paper as well. But I'll bring up these four charts here just real quick about the question about the cannabis stocks. And I was actually thinking about talking about this a little bit on Twitter because, listen, we are traders. We look for where the money is, and if it's a tradable asset, we like to trade it. So right now, as I have said, there's a ton of money flowing into cannabis stocks. Now, mind this, not all of these cannabis stocks are related the same. A lot of these are Canadian companies. You'll know that because their ticker ends in an F. Okay, that tells her they're Canadian. And these are actually legit, more or less, companies. They're regulated in Canada. They have real products, sometimes flour, some of it's products that are derived from cannabis, CBD, hemp, whatnot, and they're very tradable. And this one in particular, Canopy Growth Corp, CGC, there was a major investment, I believe, by the owners of Corona beer. They took a stake in this company here. Now,
$4 billion.
yeah, and that's a decent
Four
chunk. I
billion.
clearly
It's
remember when this was at $6.
Consolidation Brands. They're called Consolidation Brands.
And boy, do they own a lot of beer brands too. I mean, it's amazing all the beer brands
Yeah.
umbrella. So these are four examples here of these are all this one is traded in the U.S. These four are traded on Canadian exchange. That's why it has the F. But these are examples of Canadian pot companies where money flow is clearly flowing in, and especially recently here, we've had some really great gains on a bunch of these. So I'm going to keep an eye on these, and because if there's money to be made in this sector, and if crypto is I mean, we see this. We see money flow to where money is big. So we saw cannabis stocks were really big last year. And then when Bitcoin got really big, you saw a lot of those cannabis stocks become blockchain stocks all overnight. Some on like Riot Blockchain and SSC
Potcoin.
and Potcoin and Long Island Iced Tea Blockchain Company and Kodak. Remember, they had blockchain for a day, and their stock spiked. So that's what you see happen here. So right now, pot is hot, and we're seeing money flow into that, and potentially we're seeing a lot of the crypto money flow into that. Now this reverses quickly, though. Once the trend's over, once the money's done, once this is topped off, and again, these valuations, a lot of these are just insanely high. You're going to see money flow back into areas where we're oversold. So perhaps this is where money's flowing now, but once it tops off, money can clearly flow back into crypto. And if money gets made in this sector, then it can definitely flow back into crypto with vengeance and bring us some of that bull volume that we desperately want to see.
Awesome. All right. I think that's all we got today, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good show. Listen, right now, I would have to say that we're going to walk out of here with my call being, man, tough. Tough. I'm telling you, I still am in. Where's my dang chart go? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Here's my chart. This is kind of my ride or die chart. I'm sticking with this. I'm staying with this. Still going to. I still think this is gonna fall out, and I will put that on here. I'm gonna put that on. I still think that these two bear channels. I'm gonna draw an arrow, saying that I think that this.
They look so similar now too, don't they?
Ah, man, just so damn similar, right? I'm gonna say this. I'm going to draw this, so I think that these are the same damn thing right here. I really do. I think these are, they're one and alike, right? And this is what I see, two bear channels, bear flags, right? And this is what I see, and until this breaks out, I still see two bear flags here, and that's my call. I mean, this is my call right here, and I'm gonna ride with this. Let's see. Yeah, MVT, MTV. Yeah, I mean, I still see, you've got a little room here. This could pop up, but I'm still sitting in my short. I do have a hedged long scalp only. Like I said, it's a long scalp play. And I think we're getting, let's take a look here. And let me go over here. Let me pull some up. All right. All right, what do we got here today? What do we got? All right, 116 of our best friends here. And the shill. Let the shill begin. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are the most amazing channel on in Discord and the most amazing and funnest show to watch on the planet right now. And all you have to do is just ask us how amazing we are. We are here to tell you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, how amazing we are. Send us an email, write us a message on Twitter. We'll fill it out. We'll just be like, there should be a poll. Who is more amazing than me? And I'll list down me, and me. And I'll get that one. We'll get us one set up for Chon. We'll have the same thing. We do come on over, join us in Discord. We have 4,000 members. We put out amazing content. In Chon's particular package, he does have exotic dancers who are there 24 hours a day. These are both males and females. We're here to please everybody equally, right? We do have
day shifters.
No day shifters. That's right. We do have 24-hour buffets. We have free drinks. We only serve premium drinks. Come on in, get the channel, get all of this amazingness all at the same time. The buffet never closes. We have all you can watch, free cable TV, free internet, free Wi-Fi. We even upgrade you to first class. We got the Vamp package, we got the Chone package, we got the Bull package, we got the Bear package. We got it all. We got everything. We got a calls channel. We got everything you guys would possibly need. Come on over, join us. Thank you so much for the Vamp and the Chone. We are out.
Peace.